I don't know what she is, but she is definitely old. Don't worry, Doc. I'm a doctor. Put your arm right back on, baby. I don't know much about this doll, but I know one thing. When you don't know something, find somebody who do, because this could be a home run right here. We gotta find out what you're worth. I'm meeting Cheryl Coughlin at Antiques on Magnolia. This is the doll I was telling you about.
And your name is?
I'm Ivy. Oh, I'm sorry. Hello. That's what they call malpractice.
What you have here is you have a Santos doll.
Santos, like
Santos. Not really, but it's a Santos doll. She's from the 1700s, 1740 to 1750, and these dolls were used for teaching the indigenous people of Mexico about Christ, Mary, and the goings-on in the Christian church. You can tell that it's Mary because Mary is dressed in blue. And if you had had Christ or one of the saints, it would have been in brown. This is all hand-carved on a wood pedestal, and it's not in bad condition. Considering its age, it's really lovely. It has glass eyes, it has a sharp, pointed nose, and they're all bald.
Really?
These were all of those dolls were carved.
These hands, you could tell they've been around the block.
They
now,
have.
How do these fit in there?
So these are hand whittled. And so you see how the edges are shaved off. They're shaved in just to fit. And this one goes there. And they might fall off again. This one less likely because it's so much longer.
What are these like umbrella-like little figures here?
So these are 8 hand-carved strips of wood. They're used as the corset that comes down that holds this doll high above this carved piece of wood. You've got some cracking in here. It's normal wear and tear for this kind of doll.
Well, I came to you for 2 reasons. One is for information, and you gave me that. Number 2 is I needs to know what I could put in my bank account.
These are very, very expensive dolls. I mean, you have really found yourself an incredible piece of history. So at auction, $2,000. It's a great find.
Well, I gotta say, see you later, alligator. Have a nice day, and thank you for your time.
It's my pleasure. Oh, my goodness sake.
We need a doctor.
It didn't take you long to destroy it, did it? Since you broke the finger, we're looking at about $1,800 at auction.
Ooh, Mother Mary, that's expensive.
It sure is.
Really good. This is not looking like costume jewelry at all.
How do you tell the difference?
Let me see here. Let me take one of these out and look at the carbons and stuff in the sunlight. Dude, that's got a lot of sparkle, man. I think we're into the real deal. Woo!
Let me see it.
These rings are looking good. As long as it's not some costume jewelry from some burlesque show, I might beat the house this time. Vegas, baby. I'm taking all the jewelry to a local jeweler. I don't know if it's worth $5 or $5,000, but I'm about to find out. So, you know, I bought this in a storage locker, and I've been sitting on it all night, and I didn't sleep good. It's driving me crazy. I'm dying to find out what this is worth.
Okay, I'll help you.
Okay, well, that's
Don't
what
worry.
I'm looking for.
Awesome. Not to worry.
Let's see what we got here. We'll go ahead and open her up.
Just be patient.
That's right. Well, there is a lot of it. So I was going to say that to you.
Okay, if you're not patient, you'll become one.
This Mordecai guy, he's pretty cool. I'm kind of liking his style.
Sure. I'm gonna sort them out. The real stuff put one side, the junk put in another side, okay?
Absolutely.
Wow. They didn't put a year down. Shame on them.
What is that?
It's a calendar on a heart, and there's a diamond in it. Need you to pay very special attention to this piece, okay?
Is it that nice of a piece?
Very nice piece. Okay, it's a Tiffany, and I don't know how old it is. It could be a collector's item, okay?
So any woman
And
would be happy to get that.
Yeah, and not too many of those
Nice.
all around. So bring it to me, I'll polish it for you, make it like brand new.
Mordecai,
Okay.
you're the man. Now I've got something to bring home to my wife.
This is a very good item. It's a 14-karat solid gold.
Nice.
Pretty old, Bolivar, with the diamonds.
Excellent.
Okay, this should be it. All right?
There we go.
Wow.
That's a Tiffany necklace.
Yeah?
Okay.
That's good
Wow.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
Come on, Mordecai, tell me how good it is.
Awesome.
Woo! You know, he keeps writing down numbers. I'm hoping this stuff is worth so much that he can't even keep track of it.
Let me total it for you, okay? The bracelet, this one is 14-karat gold with diamonds. That's about 2,000. You got the studs here.
Awesome.
They're 500.
Nice.
This heart, solid gold, With the diamond on the calendar, it's about $500.
Yes.
This watch is $1,500.
Boom.
Okay. Then you got that Tiffany necklace, which is $1,500. Got everything together, came up to $17,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Woo. That's what I'm
right.
talking about. That's the wow factor, baby.
Okay.
That's the wow
right.
factor. I am up 17 grand. I am loving this city right now. For the first time in my life, I'm leaving Vegas with something. He just wants my table.
Look at you, man.
What's up, Jerry? How's it going?
I'm still
buddy?
crawling.
Dennis?
I gotta
I'm
tell
Daryl.
you.
Hey, nice to meet
Guy
you.
knows everything about everything.
That's what I heard.
There it is.
I got this in a storage locker up in Huntington Beach. And Barry said it's a bridge table.
Well, in reality, this is one of the very first computers that were ever made for commercial use.
Wow. A computer? I'm no Stephen Jobs, but this is a frickin' bridge table.
Okay, so let me show you what happens. We're gonna press this in, and what it's going to do is shuffle and deal simultaneously. How it accomplishes that is it randomly chooses a space, so no person gets a card equally, you see? You notice this guy gets one, then he skips one, he might get three, and by the time all 52 cards go out, you've actually completely shuffled the deck.
That's great.
All right, so I'm gonna shut it off, and we're gonna talk about its value. I think realistically, I could ask $2,000.
Yeah, you could ask. You could ask $2 million.
okay.
You could ask anything you want. What is it going to sell for?
Well, look, you're two guys that work together all the time. There's a price that's fair for both of you.
I got a great idea. I'll hold on to it. Let's trade something later on. No cash.
No, I like that. Because
Okay.
we're both in the same sort of junk. I'll do
I
that.
think you're playing it fair. That's a good way to go.
No, it is.
I'm gonna make money off of these fishing rods. I got a great deal going on with Barry. Life is good. There you go. Check that out, huh? Seen one before?
Looks like this is an Ithaca shotgun made by the Ithaca Gun Company. Ithaca guns were owned by people such as sharpshooter Annie Oakley, the
Right.
composer John Philip Sousa. Even Al Capone was known to have owned an Ithaca shotgun. Now, what's very interesting about this particular gun is that we have WF & Co. EXP 89 stamped on the right side of the frame. And that's referring to the Wells Fargo & Company.
Okay.
Wells Fargo & Company in the turn of the 20th century was one of the large companies that really solidified the West as what it is today.
Wow.
So let's do one thing though. We're gonna wanna first check to make sure all of the serial numbers on the gun are matching.
Okay.
First things we're gonna do when we look here, 71,205, we see that marking here. 71,205, it matches there. 71,205. So all of the serial numbers on this particular gun match, which is a good thing. Wells Fargo did contract Ithaca to produce shotguns for them, but they produced shotguns for Wells Fargo from 1909 to 1917. If we track that serial number, this particular gun was made in 1902. So we have an issue here. And the issue is, this gun was made 7 years before Wells Fargo contracted Ithaca to make shotguns. That particular stamping could have been added much later to increase the value and significance of the gun. This particular gun may not have that association with Wells Fargo.
Well, great. There far goes my profit. Can you give me a hypothetical figure of what that would be worth?
Well, we here at the museum, we don't talk monetary value. But what I can tell you
But
without
I use the
giving
word
you-
hypothetical.
Well, you can use any word you want, and I'm going to use the words historical and cultural significance.
Right. Value. 1,000.
Historical and cultural significance.
1,000?
You should have no problem getting rid of the gun.
4,000?
It's a nice gun.
Nice gun. Is it $5,000 nice?
It's a nice gun.
Is it $6,000 nice?
Remember, it doesn't say Wells
I
Fargo.
got you.
We got it.
$5 grand. Way to go. Woo! No, I want to thank you a lot. I think I've been doing this for 32 years. I know how to get answers. You know, it's not how you skin the rabbit.
I got you.
It's if the rabbit grows his hair back.
I don't know diddly about this pool equipment, so I'm taking it to Kenny Barry at La Quinata Pool and Patio. All right, bro. This is the last of it.
Wow, I didn't know you were gonna bring all this in here.
Feel like Snake Plissken. The reason why I got all this here, because your boy can't swim.
You're standing in the water.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Why y'all ain't tell me I was in 17 feet of water, boy? All right, bro. I had to seek out a professional to tell me about this debt trap out in front of the unit. Can you break down what I got my hands on?
Absolutely. These are your pool pumps. This is what actually moves the water.
Yeah?
The water comes through pipes on the front here, goes down in here to a little basket, catches the bigger debris, comes out of this pipe into your bigger filters on the other side, and then it goes back to the pool, and you got clean water. Being that somebody saved them, I'm gonna guess they work, because you usually wouldn't save them if they didn't work.
All right, can you tell me about R262 cousins right here?
Oh, R2D2?
Yeah, and all them crazy ass. They heavy like them.
They are heavy.
This thing's heavy.
These here are your big pool filters. Your little fins go inside of these filters. Every one of these filters has 8 of them inside of there. You can see that it's not clean, but this just hoses off with a little bit of water in a garden hose. But what you can tell is there's very little rust and very little corrosion.
It might look ruined, but it ain't ruined. You gotta just wash it. All right, bro. We done came to the nitty gritty. Can you tell me what all this dangerous water material is worth?
I'd say with all this stuff, you got about $3,000.
Yeah. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. Bro, you gonna spend. All right, I'm gonna take a plunge.
If you want to get in some real water, I got the perfect pool for you out back.
Bruh.
And with all that protection, you'll be fine.
That was what she said. Next thing you know, 9 months later.
There's our pool for you. It's gonna be cold. I wish you'd have found a heater.
Now you tell me. Oh, that is cold. Man, this thing cold, bruh. Oh my God. Oh, this so cold, bruh. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. That's Lord have mercy. I should have said
this. This piece got to be a one of a kind. The teeth appear to be actually really dentures. They're real glass eyes. Look at this. There's a whole scene going on in this guy's head. This is something real special. I'm glad Dave is gonna help with this furniture because it is frickin' heavy.
Barry, let me show you something.
Forget this. I want to show you, this is the deal right here.
And what the hell is that?
That's the jackpot, Daddy-O. Check this out. Look at the stuff inside there. There's like a gnome.
This is a demented wood sculpture guy that had too much time on his hands.
That head is creepy.
You want to know something, Barry? I'll guarantee you that this piece here is probably the most valuable piece you have in the unit. Worth $400 to $500. Well, I'll take it back. I'll sell it. Whatever the final selling price is, we'll split 50-50.
Dave may know furniture, but he's wrong about that sculpture. I think there's some money in that head. He's gonna love this one. I sent some photos of that wood sculpture to my buddy Dennis. Hopefully he's able to dig up some info on that head.
Hey, Barry.
Hey, Dennis.
How you doing?
Well, I'm doing, man.
This is pretty spectacular.
Isn't it?
I guess so. Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're always saying I'm really good, right?
Yeah, I do.
Well, today I'm going to prove it. After you sent me the photos and the information on this thing, I turn this up, and I find the artist's name, Mike Meadow.
Wow.
Californian, he's still doing work. This is another piece with a slightly different face that he did for this beautiful story about man's hidden environment. And that's the play on what's going on in his head, man's hidden environment.
That's amazing.
So this is an original head by the same artist, fabulous piece
I mean,
from
look at-
1972.
Look at the layers, the lamination. There's got to be, I counted about 12 of them on here, pieces that he's laminated together.
The process is wonderful. And then this wonderful room in the back. I mean,
Now, look in there.
boy, that's really something.
Is that
There's
amazing?
pictures on the wall. There's a table with a lamp. There's the moon out the window. And
It's
there's
incredible.
this little troll.
Now, to get right to the coconut.
Yes, sir. What do I think it's worth?
Yes, sir.
I would say that if it were in a gallery, they would certainly ask $6,000, and maybe more.
Are you serious?
Absolutely, man.
That's great, but the problem is?
Because you're not letting it go. Typical Barry. Thanks for bringing it around. I enjoyed seeing it.
Buddy, I'll see you later.
Take care.
Nice Makita hammer drill, 75 bucks. Milwaukee hammer drill, 100 bucks. Got lithium, so lithium is nice. And this is Ryobi lithium, 200 bucks in here in tools. Now this hamper, jeans, clothes. Oh, camo, this is nice. This is Cortex, that's $200 in here. Let's see. This. It just got interesting. Pro Photo, this is camera equipment, Stockholm, Sweden. I'm familiar with this brand, Pro Photo. With the condition it's in, easy $2,000. Let's do a little safe. Put it, there we go. Jewelry. Bunch of costume jewelry right here. There's more watches, more costume stuff. This is all custom jewelry. Each one of these pieces is $5, $10. I'm gonna say everything in here, $500. LG display board. It's actually a nice wide gimme monitor, 200 bucks. Even though this lock is like all over the place, I like it. Let's say $600 just in games. Xbox One, a couple $100 bucks. PS5, $500 bucks. Rossi Neal skis, Black Ops, conservatively, $400. Dell Core i7 Pro 8th Gen. Okay, then we got two nice flat screens. Let's just say the whole box is $1,000 worth of computers. Sony Walkman. This one is like mint in box. I don't think it's ever been used with the sealed strap. I will get easily $900 for this Walkman. I've already made $2,000 in profit, and I still haven't gotten to the big safe yet. Here it goes. Oh, yes. It is packed. Okay, Invicta. Woman's watch, 100 bucks. Easily 200 bucks for this Omega. Nice diesel chronograph, 100 bucks. Kenneth Cole, be a couple hundred on that. Michael Kors, 150 bucks. Hold on a second. This is definitely gold right here, hand painted on the watch. There's easily 200 bucks in here. And it is a fat ass men's chronograph, 150 bucks. That's it. You know what, honestly, I'm caught up in a bidding battle with Daryl, and I was really, really worried about this locker. But this locker is great. I love hunting.
I'm heading to see Bob Chat at Vintage Productions today. He'll solve the mystery of these pieces of history. Well, I brought some stuff to show you. Check these out. It's not really quite the normal Japanese or American items that I'm used to finding.
What these are British turn of the century, like late 1800s, early 1900s, cordite containers.
Wow.
So they were used on some of the larger battleships. On the ship, when the battle would start, the guy down in the magazine would fill the propellant in here in a bag, run it up to the gunners. By the time the gunners had launched it into the gun, it's back down and he's loading it again.
Could you imagine being in battle and having to do that, just running up and down, filling this? And...
Well, I probably wouldn't do that good because I'd be out of shape too quick. What's really cool, too, about them, the interior is all cork, and then it's lined with canvas. Then there's leather put on top of it, and all the fittings are brass. And what that was done for was there was nothing could spark. Nothing that could ignite everything while they're having to use it.
Wow, that makes perfect sense.
A lot of times, these are just destroyed. These are a couple of the nicer ones I've seen in a long time. The decal for the Royal Navy is still enough there that you can recognize exactly what it is. So these were taken care of. What's cool, number 56, that signifies what size charge would have been in here.
What type of ship would these have been used on?
One of the warships, a battleship, a destroyer, a dreadnought, one of those types. The small one, we'll go to the bottom on that one. So number 65, smaller size charge. And the broad arrow is here. So this is probably a later issue than this one. And the broad arrow is like, you've handled enough American stuff where it's always stamped US.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's how the British marked everything, with the broad arrow. And then these are kind of cool. This piece here, this is a World War I up to World War II British Warrant Officers Bullion Cap badge. So when you see them wearing the black visor hat, this would be the badge that would be on the front of it. And this would have been used probably a good 30, 40 years and never changed. It didn't change until the crown changed to a Queen's crown in the 50s.
Oh.
This one, standard issue British officer's belt buckle for the dress uniform. That's the buckle for the sword belt.
Cool.
No marking, it's kind of funny. Maybe the sailor who brought this home was down on his luck and he's tried to test it to see if it was gold. Didn't turn out to be, so he just put it in a frame.
Well, Bob, I need some good news. What is the good news on these?
You know, each one of these has a great collectible value, but as a group, close to $1,000.
Oh, man, I like that. Thank you so much, Bob. Man, I really appreciate you telling me what these were. Every time I come in here, man, I feel like I've just died and gone to heaven. There's so much stuff to look at.